Hello. So welcome to Craft Cafe today. I'll start with what I've cooked. So I have made a French onion baked gnocchi. So for this one I used ricotta gnocchi because I just wanted something a bit more pillowy, and I also added cream because I wanted a bit more sauce. I had a feeling it wasn't going to be very saucy, and I was right. I think without the cream it wouldn't have been saucy. And I need a bit of unctuousness with my gnocchi. I really enjoyed it. It definitely has the same sort of flavor profile as a French onion soup. So if you like French onion soup, you'll probably like this recipe. And it was something different. Like normally with gnocchi, I'll have like a pesto, or I'll have a tomato-based sauce, or I'll have a pan-fried sort of sage butter. So this was something completely different and new, which was really cool. I enjoyed that. And then I also made a no-bake Oreo cheesecake, which was so easy to do, guys. I love it when recipes are just real easy. Don't even have to turn the oven on. You have to like raw, cold cheesecakes to like this recipe. It has a very different flavor and texture to a baked cheesecake, and I must admit I do prefer baked cheesecakes, but this was just so easy and you can't really stuff it up. And the crust was actually really nice, the Oreo crust. Normally I don't eat cheesecake crusts, but this one I really enjoyed. So that was the Oreo baked cheesecake. I also made the best marinade ever. So my partner is mixed European. His mother grew up in Argentina. So he sort of grew up on like Argentinian barbecue, and one of their favorite marinades to use is chimichurri. So I thought I'd make a chimichurri, and I found this marinade and it was bomb. It was so good. And we put it on chicken, we put it on fish. You could marinate vegetables in it. You can use it as a marinade and as a sauce to go on top. You can modify it. Like I've swapped the red wine vinegar out for vincotto. My partner's swapped it out for lemon juice. You can really play around with it, but it's just the perfect marinade. So 10 out of 10, highly recommend. In terms of crochet, I made one taro bag and like 1,000 hats and scarves. That seems to be what I'm onto at the moment. I still feel like going back and frogging the hats that I made and redoing them. I feel like the third time I could get it right, but my partner and my daughter love their wonky character filled hats, so they're going to keep them as is. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun. My arm still isn't 100%. I might take a week off next week. I'm thinking just to try and see if I can get it that extra yard to the finish line, because I would like to, do some pull-ups again, do some push-ups, go back to weight training. I've just totally lost all my upper body strength, and it's not great when I don't exercise. My autoimmune conditions flare up. Like right now I'm very puffy, and my hormones are really imbalanced, and I'm going back to see my doctor, who's like an integrative doctor. She combines Western medicine and holistic practices together, because I'm feeling very like not great. When you have a flare up, anyone who's got autoimmune conditions knows what I mean. I'm going through that, and yeah, I think I have to get it under control. Maybe also that will help with the inflammation in my tendons. But it's just one of those things where, when everything hits you at once. Our house flooded, I cracked a tooth, which I'm still waiting to be seen for. So I'm only chewing on one side of my mouth. And then my car tire went flat, so I have to get a new tire, and it's just like one thing after another, and it's just a snowball effect, and you're like, what's happening? So I'm hoping now it's all happened, there'll be a bit of a calm. Do you know what I mean? Like surely like we're going to be on the up of the roller coaster swing. But yeah, I've been crocheting to sort of center myself and chill out. So that's why I've made quite a few things this week. Every 20 minutes of crochet, and then I take 40 minutes off, and then I get back into the crochet. So I'm like, I need it. Mama needs her chill pill. But in terms of yarn as well, I really just want to get through all the yarn I have. I have so much yarn. Just like with Tarot Decks, I went ham. I bought everything that I saw that I liked, and now I've got like 4 of these bad boys just taken up space in my house, and I don't like storing stuff. I was going to say I'm not buying any more yarn, but I've just put an order in with Great Southern Yarn, who, as you know right now, my hands down favorite yarn company that I've tried, because I was halfway through a beanie for my partner and I ran out, so I need some more of that. And I wanted to buy some more of their color Rain Clouds at Dawn, which is my absolute favorite ever. I want to make a blanket for my bed and I want to make a beanie for me out of it. So after I've gotten that order, I will not buy any more yarn until I've used up all my yarn. I want to like use it all up, because also I've got so much that even when I get tarot decks, for instance, I just choose something out of what I have. So sometimes it's not always like the perfect match, and that like messes with my like perfectionism. So I'm like, listen, you've done this to yourself. So you have to use it all up. And then after that, it's going to be on a as needed basis, where whenever I have a project, I can then buy the perfect yarn for it, even if that means I have to pay for shipping every time. Because that's the thing with me sometimes too. I can't just buy one or two things and pay for the shipping. I'm like, if I'm paying for shipping, then I'm going to buy everything that this store has that I like to justify the $10 that I'm spending on shipping. Ridiculous. I know that's like a psychological thing, but I've got to like let that go and just be like, hey, otherwise you're going to end up, you know, having a house where it's for storing your crap, and that's not. I want a house that I can live and breathe in, and I can't when I've got too much like massive boxes laying around. So that's my plans in the future in regards to yarn. It's spooky season here, which is my favorite. Halloween is my favorite holiday. Even though I'm in Australia, pre-COVID, I used to have big Halloween bash and I would decorate the whole house and have a party. I always dressed up. I tend to, most of the time, 90% of the time, I dress up as like a male character. That's just what I like to do. I'm either like King Jareth from Labyrinth, I'm Vincent Vega from Pulp Fiction, I'm Mrs. Doubtfire. When I was pregnant, I dressed up as Mrs. Doubtfire, which was fun. And then 2020, I shaved all my hair off, so it was like obviously super short. And I thought, I'm going to go as Freddie Mercury this year. This is going to be fantastic. And then, you know, COVID hit and I was like, God damn it. I was like, the perfect time to go as Freddie, you know, but oh well, it wasn't meant to be. So this year, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm probably just gonna be real low key. Like I'm not, like my favorite costume of all time was Jack Skellington. I'll see if I can remember to put a picture of some of these up, but I love Jack Skellington, but that's just such a task to do. So I think I'm just gonna do something really easy. I might just go on Pinterest and do like a cat face. I don't know. I'm just not quite feeling it. Like we still get some trick-or-treaters coming to the house, but it's been way less since pre-COVID. And yeah, I'm not up to holding parties at the moment either, to be honest. It's like, no, I don't need you know, to be going into quarantine because someone got COVID at my party, and I'm like, no. But I am thinking in the future, I don't have enough time now, but I'm thinking in the future, it's like the perfect chance to like crochet Halloween decorations. Like I'm so excited to make decorations for Halloween. I've always wanted like a Halloween wreath to hang on my door. Like I have a skeleton that talks to you, but I also want a Halloween wreath. And I thought, I've never found one I liked, but I can make it, right? And I think I've just put it off because most likely it'll involve some like amigurumi. And if my kids find out like mummy can do this, then I'm gonna end up making every Pokemon in the Pokedex. Like I can just see it happening. The requests coming in, but at the moment, whenever they ask for like some amigurumi style thing, I'm like, Mummy doesn't know how to do that, darling. Like, Mum, do you want a scarf? Do you want a beanie? Mummy can do those. So that's why I put it off, even though I know I'm going to end up going down that road, because that's the thing too. I'm going to end up like making little mushrooms. I'm just going to get all into that. But and before I do that, I want to try and reduce my stash as much as possible. Yeah, one thing at a time. But next year, I'm definitely going to crochet some cool Halloween crap and just put in my trees and everything. I'm excited. In terms of the craft cafe, videos, I'm probably going to not do it weekly anymore. I'd rather just wait until I've got like a bunch of stuff to share with you and then put it all up there. So I hope that wherever you are, you're having a spooktacular morning, afternoon or evening. And now we're going to go on to showing you what I have made. And this is a scarf that I made for my daughter. So I did double threaded it, some with blue and grey, and then this one with silver and grey, and I just did half double crochet for it. Yeah, and I'm quite happy. It's my first scarf. It's made out of cotton. I think these were like cotton blends, like cotton and silk, but yeah, that's the scarf. Hello. So let's have a look at some of the other things that I have made this month. Sorry, I'm just getting into my seat. Okay, so I'm going to start with the taro bag. So this is the taro bag that I made. It is the Australian Wool Store in Charlotte's Rose. It is a 50-50 silk and wool combination. I'll just show you the deck that I keep in here. It's the Ethereal Alchemist's Tarot. That's what I keep in here. I did this in mesh stitch. I think mesh stitch was pretty easy to do. I enjoyed the stitch. I don't love it though. It's a bit flat. It's a bit plain. In terms of the yarn, I don't like the tactile sensation of the 50-50 wool and silk. It's got like that sort of, I won't say chalky, but that like sort of squeaky feel. So I didn't like the combination. The color's lovely, although sometimes the darker bits do just look a bit like it's dirty instead of color variations. But that was the only tarot bag that I made. And then I made, so I'm going to be putting some photos up because I don't have the items. So I made this sun hat for my partner. This is Araucania in Yamsil DK. The color is Desiatoda Atacama. I don't know how to pronounce any of these words. It was a cotton, so it's a cotton. It's my first time making a sun hat. It was a lot of trial and error. I tried a few different YouTube videos and they just weren't working out right, so I just tried to figure it out for myself. He wanted like a really big brim, so yeah, I just did my best just figuring it out solo. It's a bit wonky. It's got character, guys. It's got character. But yeah, I don't like working with cotton that much. It definitely is harder on my hands. I will say it is just much harder to on my hands to work with, which I've already said. And then I made this headband for my eldest. This was also in the Cotton Cakes 453. Now all of us have headbands. So I've used all the blue out of that cotton cake now, and I'm just going to give the rest to my friend because I've just got no more use for it. And then I made this quilt square. So this is in a Malabrego Archangel. This is Rios, the DK. I did this in Jasmine Puff Stitch, like I did the other one, because I'm planning on doing a big blanket. So it looks good both ways, I find. Jasmine Puff Stitch, and I like the colors, and I'm happy with how it turned out. So nice and cushy. It's so cushy. It's really not fun doing this stitch, having, I think it's like 24 loops on the hook or whatever it is. Yeah, it's not the most fun, but it comes up beautifully. Then I made a scarf for my daughter. I don't remember all of the yarns I used. She has a whole box of different cottons, and I just picked a bunch out of there, and unfortunately I didn't keep all of the little tags, but I think I used Crochet Soul Wool Morning Salutation. It's like a vegan wool in pale blue. I also used, I think I used maybe some Wren, cotton, Fiddlesticks Wren. I think I might have used Shepier's Katona cotton. I just used, yeah, like I said, a bunch of different cottons and double stranded it and wove them in together. So that's the scarf that I made for her. I can't remember what stitch I used either. It's just, I did not write it down. I have to start writing it down. Then I made a beanie. This beanie was in Bellissimo 8 ply in white. I think I double stranded it, so it's like 16. I'm pretty sure I did. And put a beanie on top, not a beanie, a pom-pom on top. I think it came out pretty decent, better than my last one for sure. And then I made this little rose out of Great Southern Yarns Rain Clouds at Dawn 8 ply. I just had a tiny amount of it left, so I thought I'd make a rose out of it, because I'm thinking of doing a wall hanging for my bedroom with different flowers crocheted. So that was fun. And then I made a handbag for my daughter, and I put some little like buttons and crochet little heart for it. So this was with West Loft Greens I Want to Go to Brighton in Suzette stitch, which is just, you know, one of my go-to go-to stitches, and that is everything that I've crocheted recently. And that wherever you are, you're having a heartwarming morning, afternoon or evening, and as always, stay wild, Star Child.